I thought I'd try it like this because then the volume is a little bit louder and people are complaining about it. There's an article here that I think is quite interesting and important. It says it is called The Coming Nuclear Crisis. The world is running out of uranium and nobody seems to have noticed. The world is about to enter a period of unprecedented investment in nuclear power. The combined threats of climate change, energy security and fears over high prices and dwindling reserves of oil are forcing governments towards nuclear option. The perception is that nuclear power is carbon-free technology, that it breaks our reliance on oil and that it gives governments control over their own energy supply. Michael Dittmar of the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology in Zurich thinks this is dangerously over-optimistic. He just published a report for a part analysis of the global nuclear industry on a website that I'll link to next to this video. Perhaps the most worrying problem is the misconception that uranium is plentiful. The world's nuclear plants today eat about 65,000 tons of uranium each year. Of this, the mining industry supplies about 40,000 tons. Supply is less than demand. The rest comes from secondary sources such as civilian and military stockpiles, reprocessed fuel and re-enriched uranium. But without access to the military stockpiles, the civilian Western uranium stocks will be exhausted by 2013, concludes Dittmar. It's not clear how the shortfall can be made up since nobody seems to know where the mining industry can look for more uranium. That means countries that rely on uranium imports such as Japan and many Western countries will face uranium shortages, possibly as soon as 2013, because about 30% of their uranium need will not be met. Far from being the secure source of energy that many governments are basing their future energy needs on, nuclear power looks decidedly rickety, unreliable. But what of new technologies such as fission breeder reactors which generate fuel and nuclear fusion? Dittmar is pessimistic about fission breeders. I guess that's some type of enrichment mechanism. Their huge construction costs, their poor safety records and their insufficient performance gives little reason to believe that they will ever become commercially significant. And the future looks even worse for nuclear fusion, because there's big machines. He says no matter how far in the future we may look, nuclear fusion as an energy source is even less probable than large-scale breeder reactors. And of course we need the energy now. Dittmar paints a bleak future for countries betting on nuclear power, and his analysis doesn't even touch on issues such as safety, proliferation of nuclear technology and the disposal of nuclear waste. And I'll put a link next to the Google search uranium baby also next to this video, and you can take a look if you have the stomach. The message, if you live in one of these countries, is to stock up on firewood and candles. So I think this is a good message for people that believe in uranium power or in nuclear power. There's not enough uranium to fuel these power plants, according to a report of an expert in the field, and it's a 4-chapter report. And so yeah, you might not believe the expert, somebody that spent a lot of time getting the facts right, but then I guess you can't believe anything. It's I think much smarter to put your money into the solar energy, concentrated solar power, and wind energy. And of course, the trouble with those things is that they're not huge industries. They don't have to be. They can be your own home-bred and home-bred constructed solar power plant and wind plant. And that's not interesting to the big energy companies. But let's say as a civilian in a country, as a voter, you should force your governors and your politicians to make sure that you get energy. You know, it's no use to have a power plant without fuel. If it's a nuclear power plant, you need the energy to keep yourself warm and to have your wealth in your country and your manufacturing capacity and all that stuff. This is quite devastating, I think, to anybody that's lobbying for nuclear power, and everybody that is against nuclear power should inform the people that are in favor of this report, because it's quite devastating, I think. And I hope you like this video. Thanks for listening.